I want to tell you a quick one because it's not worth spending a lot of time on, but it was kind of odd. We did a lot of odd things. It was our desire to do some odd things, and I got to take my glasses off again. But when we were in Roberts that one year, there was sometimes in the summertime we didn't have a whole lot to do, and so we'd go out into the big Quonset, which had a shop in the front of it. And sometimes we couldn't think of much to do, as I said. And so we would make things up. And this particular day, we found a bicycle wheel, and the bicycle wheel had the spokes in it. And we wondered, well, what the spokes look like? How do they hold on? And so we took the rubber tire off, and we could see that the spokes went up into a little bell-shaped thing that set down into the hole in the metal part of the wheel. And then it had this spoke sitting in it and connected down at the hub. Well, that kind of intrigued us. And so we pulled them out. And we took the little bell-shaped thing and we were looking at it. And I had my BB, we had a BB gun. I think it was Richards, I'm not sure. And it had some BBs in it. We took the BB out, and if you put it on the top of that bell and tapped it in, it would fit really snugly in that little bell. And so then below the bell would be those little wire spokes. And if you cut those off, you could pound them into a little 1x6 or whatever it was that we had, wood. You pound it in there, and then the bell was sticking out on the side, and the BB was pointed away from the board. Well, we got thinking about that, and we thought, what in the world should we do with this? Because we need to do something. And so what we did, which was weird, I know, but anyway, we got a whole bunch of those things cut out. We took a match head and put it in the bottom, and then tapped the BB out on the outside of it. Then we nailed them along the side of the board. There's about, I don't know, 20 of them or so along the side of the board. And then we took some cloth and tied them near the base of the bell, with the BB being on the outside of the bell and just snugly tapped in there. And we tried one of them out, and we struck a match and held it under the bell, and all of a sudden, bang! And my gosh, that BB went twice as fast as it does out of a BB gun. We thought that's pretty clever. So we got it all set up with all the BBs in, and we put cloth, little rags hanging around each one of them. And then we lit them all, and we weren't aware that we had the darn thing facing towards the corral. And there were a lot of cows in that corral. And we lit them all, and we sat back and waited to see them all go off. And they didn't go off all at the same time, which makes sense. They went off, though, sometimes like a machine gun, and sometimes all at once in several segments. And when we looked out the window, the cows were running and jumping and banging into each other and bumping into the barn and floundering around. And finally, the shooting stopped, and they all calmed down. I, I mean, I didn't know whether to run and hide or just but anyway, we got over it. Nobody seemed to see it. And at that moment, I had to go. You've had to go before. I know you have. Well, I had to go. So Dave stayed in the shop, and I went out. There was part of the fence, the corral fence, had some wire held onto it so that it would hold it together and looked like that was holding it up or whatever. And so, being the person that I am, I wondered if I could do it that far. And I did it that far. And it dang near yanked my total plumbing system right out of me. It was electric. Oh my gosh. I figured that was the Lord's way of telling me to wake up and quit doing stupid things. And, I didn't think it was stupid at the time we were doing it. But boy, on afterthought, it was not exactly what you'd call an amiable, uplifting thing to do.